Hey everyone, Colin with Kirk Family Farms. We started last week with some videos of putting the chicken run together. Had some difficulties with the camera. We're still learning how to use it. Batteries didn't get charged on the mics. Camera wasn't fully charged. SD card wasn't big enough to record the whole situation. Got like 2/3 of the way done with the coop and the card was full. The batteries were like 6%. Audio was terrible because it was running off the camera's mic itself. Picked up a lot of highway traffic, so we recorded that and we're recording the intro here separate, and we'll just splice them together. We're learning. It's kind of a process. So we're gonna kind of do a walk around, say hey to the cows, we'll say hey to the sheep, then we'll go into the whole recordings. They're a pretty talkative little bunch. Quit biting the camera. Quit biting the camera. Give me that. Okay, so apparently the leash for the camera stick needs to be around my wrist, otherwise they eat it. There's our grain bin empty. It is. So we just picked up new grain for them this week. That's what's there on the trailer over there. I have a feed mill that's local. I say, hey, I want, this, and this, and they text me when it's ready for pickup. So I went and got 3 tons of feed and brought that in. And then we probably went through, 150 pounds of it in just a couple of days. So I imagine the chickens are coming in here and scavenging on it too, so. So let's go over here and we'll say hey to the sheep. We'll see what the sheep need for feed today. Because the cows certainly need to be refed. Though the sheep aren't as playful. You approach the sheep and they just tend to scatter. So I gave the sheep about the same amount, about 100, 150 pounds. They have their own mix of feed. I think it's all the same feed, just in different mixtures. Here's corn and crab meal and such. They're all gonna panic, they're all gonna scatter. This is the bottle baby that we raised. I think one of them are. which, we shaved them, so it's hard to tell them apart now. Into the other stall. No, nice. Yeah, thanks. What? That's the sheep. They're not as playful. They don't really come to you all that much. Well, next time I post a video, there will be more chores posted. And we'll see you then. Thank you. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video as much as I had making the video. It was kind of a pain in the butt learning, all brand new stuff to me. But I think we got there. We're still learning. YouTube's a thing. I got some ducklings coming out. I don't know if you can see them. We had Mama Duck hatch out 6 or 7 ducklings, and she has gone missing along with 4 or 5 of the ducklings. So these last 2 ducklings are trying to buddy up with stepmom and dad, but they're kind of picking on the ducklings. I tried to catch the ducklings and put them in their own little shelter with their own feed, but they don't want no business with me. That one's got some sort of gunk on his face. I can't tell what that is. Spider web or some sort of mucus? I don't know. See, Mama's picking on him right there. I don't know. We'll have to catch him and figure it out. But we got the birds. Oh, sorry, ladies. Did I disturb you? That's my big old bird. My turkey. Haven't quite named him yet. And back there is another one, hanging out the old door. But we'll take a look at it. We've got her finished up. We didn't record the whole process. We still need to, come back and trim up some of the remaining fencing here. But, fully fenced in. We got our run gate on it. Feed, water. There's feed and water inside. Got a tarp for extra shade. Bought this thing for, I don't know, $500-600 on Amazon, I think. Shipped right to the door in 2 boxes, and we put her together. But, our goal for this is everyone on YouTube, because I sit and watch YouTube on homesteading and farming, hacks and ideas, tips and tricks, just like anybody does with basically any topic. Everyone makes it look so easy, so cheap, and they always say, go to the auction. I bought this for $100, or I built this for $200. And then you try it, and they don't go back and say, well, this didn't work and that didn't work and whatnot. So then you end up building or doing whatever they do, and you come into all kinds of problems, and you're not quite sure how to fix it. So, for example, I got this broiler coop out here that I made. I got the plans. First, I saw it on Facebook. And then I pulled up their YouTube channel, and I saw, I don't know, a dozen and a half people make this. And I thought, well, I could build that and save myself $300-400 and not buy a coop like I did. So I built this, Got a little door on it. I had to add this wall here, this half wall. In the plans that I was watching, they didn't build that front half wall. They only built the back half wall. But when I went to move it, it started to fall apart. It wasn't sturdy enough on one end, so it started to come apart in the front. I put up that half wall and it became sturdy enough, but then it was too heavy to move. So now I have to use the quad or the tractor or a pickup in order to move it. And they were moving theirs by hand. I'm moving mine via machine of some sort. So then I got all the birds in here. I think I ended up putting 15 broilers in this. And the very next day we lost, I think, 5 birds. It was too hot. This canopy top just insulated it too much. You know, there's vent here, there's vent front and back. And it just got too hot. They had, you know, 8 gallons of water and a 5-gallon bucket worth of feed. And they just weren't surviving. So I had to set them all free, bring them all back out, and put them out on free range with their feed for the last few weeks of their time with us. Because this just didn't work. You know, you got the wheels on the back. You're supposed to lift it on the front, but couldn't lift it because it was too heavy with that wall. So I had to get extra wheels and put wheels on both ends. And this thing cost me, I think I'm in it $500-600, which is the same as the run. And it ended up being too small, not sturdy enough, too heavy to move, and it held in the heat way too much for keeping the birds in. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's here. We'll figure out something for it. But that's kind of what I wanted to do. So I wanted to start my vlog channel to show, you know, not everything is as simple as you see it on YouTube, you build it and it works. You know, there are flaws, there are ups and downs, and nothing's cheap, as they say, and nothing's as easy as they say. So I wanted to go out and show you that it's not easy. You gotta plan for things, you gotta problem solve things and whatnot. So I thought that was a duck that went missing. It was husks from the corn, I think. And that's another thing that I figured out recording this close to a highway. The camera picks up a lot of noise off that highway. Half the time you heard the highway better than you heard me. So hopefully this is recording okay. I don't know. We'll find out when we get her plugged in. But, you know, it's nice to be out here. You know, any day farming is a good day. So, all right, thank you.